shifting from rice and wheat and regularly consuming millet, will it really help to heal diabetes? Will it help to bring down your body weight? Is millet a superfood? We will be discussing and making some clarifications regarding these points in this video. And we will be discussing about the recipe and the making of millet-based pizza. Of course, millets are really comparatively good grains compared to rice or wheat or oats. No doubt, millets are extremely good. Now, the whole thing gained momentum when our national government declared in 2018 declared as the year of millets, and followed by in 2023 the World Health Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization again promoted that year as a millet year. And there are specific reasons for that. Compared to wheat, rice and other kind of grains, these small grains like millets, they are having very low levels of glucose. So it's a low glycemic grain. What do you mean by low glycemic index? The amount of glucose that is produced in the blood is comparatively low, and this is extremely helpful in the present day health conditions. And number two, it is gluten free. I think you all may be knowing about the importance of gluten and the relationship of gluten with a lot of digestive disorders, autoimmune diseases and other conditions. So millets, they don't have gluten. And the point number three is generally they are available in an unprocessed whole format. When you look into the wheat and the rice kind of variety, they are highly processed. So millets are comparatively unprocessed whole kind of varieties that is available. And again, they have a lot of comparatively better amount of protein, vitamins, minerals and fibers and phytonutrients. But right now the promotion has gone overboard to the extent that it can definitely heal diabetes, it can heal blood pressure, it can heal obesity, it can heal fatty liver, it can heal migraine, it can heal PCOD, it can heal even many other gynecological problems. I think that's something not really scientific. We have a general tendency to find one-stop solution for all problems. And I can definitely say that millet is not a one-stop solution for all the health problems. Of course, millets are better than other grains, but we need to be very clear and where millet stands as far as a healthy food is concerned. I can suggest 4 important points to be very clear on this aspect. Point number 1, millet is a grain. Like rice and like wheat, millet is also a grain. Now, what's the space of grain in our diet? Considering the present lifestyle disorders and other conditions happening, it's extremely important to restrict the amount of grains in a normal diet. I think we have been talking about the portion of grains in a regular diet. We need to restrict the total grain intake to say 25 to 30% of the total dietary intake. And of course, millet fall as a part of the grain. We have a metabolically sick population and we need to restrict the amount of carbohydrate. And of course, millet is also a source of carbohydrate. All those disease conditions like diabetes, obesity, heart disease, fatty liver conditions are all metabolic disorders. So, if you have decided to restrict the intake of grains and if you have decided to go for low carbohydrate diet, that's extremely important. We need to focus on a low carbohydrate diet. Of course, millet is a carbohydrate, even though it's better kind of a carbohydrate. Point number 2, now how many times we should take grain? In the last couple of years, Harmony has been promoting about a concept called one grain diet and no grain dinner. That means it's better to avoid grains at dinner. So the best thing to do is to restrict the number of grain intake to maximum 2 or maybe 1. So it's called a 1G diet. And even if you're going for grain, it's better to avoid grains at night. So you have to avoid millets at night. And if you're having millets, it can be included in the table of grains and you can have one millet diet. That's it. Point number 3, even if you're having millets, the central element of diet should be protein. It should be having lot of protein, lot of healthy fat, lot of fibers, lot of colored vegetables and fruits, and that's it. So again, the portion of millet doesn't go to that level, so that we need to focus again on protein. And point number 4, because of the popularity of the millet and the nutritional aspect of the millets, we have a lot of food products coming in the market. Just see, most of the major corporations, food corporations, have come up with millet biscuits, millet cookies, millet noodles, millet cakes, millet syrups, millet milk and all those kind of stuff. But if you can closely go through the labels, it's just for the sake that millets are there. The majority of the ingredients are again all the unhealthy stuff. So you have to thoroughly go through the label. When generally people take a decision to be healthy, they reduce their dietary intake, they do little bit of physical activity, they be more disciplined on their sleep, they avoid junk food, and as a part of that, they shift to millets. And of course, it makes a lot of health benefits. But the problem is the entire credit is taken by the millets. That may be one probable reason for being millet as promoted as something called a superfood. We all know that millets can be prepared in different formats, right from upma to idli to dosa to different kind of stuffs. Now, can we make a very healthy pizza with millets? Right now, we are going to share how to make an millet-based pizza. Now, the first step is to bloom that yeast. For that, you can have 5 gram of active dried yeast, and you can add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 60 ml of lukewarm water. You can mix it well, and allow it to stay there for 5 to 6 minutes. It gets formed and that's ready. Now you can take 12 gram of psyllium husk, 180 gram of lukewarm water, and you can completely mix it so that it becomes like a gel-like consistency. Now, advantage is gluten-free and it can really work as a binding agent. Now we can mix the contents of the yeast into this solution. You can add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and olive oil. You can add a little bit of salt, and if needed, you can also add brown sugar. Now we can mix all these contents and that's ready. For the dry ingredients, you can take 25 gram of tapioca starch or arrowroot powder. You can mix it with 135 gram of millet powder. You can take any millet powder and you can mix it well. Now you can add that wet mix into this. The next step is to make tomato sauce. For that, you can take 4 to 5 tomatoes or about 10 garlic cloves and blend them to make it a smooth paste. In a pan, you can add 1 tablespoon of butter to the pan, and you can mix the tomato paste garlic into that and start boiling it. To this, you can add 1 teaspoon of chili powder, salt, oregano powder and chili flakes, and continue heating. Mix it well and just know the right point to stop the heating. This is the right point. The next step is to prepare your toppings. You can use an assorted of vegetables. Here we are using zucchini, baby corn, onion, capsicum, broccoli. You can even use olives. You can also add some protein source like paneer or chicken. Now, the next step is to spread that dough. You can do this in a cast iron pan. And make sure to fold that edges so that the toppings will stay inside. Now you can start with 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. Spread it evenly. And then now you can slowly start adding the toppings. We can also add chicken. If you are adding chicken, cook the chicken with some basic seasonings like salt, pepper, chili flakes and some garlic. You can also use paneer, mushrooms. The next layer is cheese. You can use mozzarella cheese. Now preheat your oven to 230 degrees centigrade and place that pan into that preheated oven and let it cook for about 20 minutes. Now after 20 minutes, your pizza will be ready. And this pizza is enough for 2 people. You can even add some chili flakes or oregano on the top for an extra flavor. And this approximately costs somewhere around 75 to 100 rupees, and this is enough for 2 people. This is a pizza made with millet. This has some basic ingredients and approaches. You can definitely try this, and maybe you can have your own kind of versions, and please do share your versions in the comment box.